I'm Brian English, Wappler forum name Hyperbytes, and this is module 4 of our page content creation module. So, taking over as we left off, just going to do a very quick tidy up for the moment. I'm just going to pop some margin in at the top there. I'm also going to just pop a little bit of margin on the top of this container just to separate it from the drop down. That wasn't meant to be auto. There we go. We've got our button now. We need to be able to pop up and edit. We also need to be able to create a new event as well, a new page I should say, within that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop another row underneath that column and pop another column in there, and I'm going to add a button, nothing more than that, and I'm going to call that button new page of this type. Give it a bit of colour. Let's say we'll style that yellow, and I'm going to stick it at block level so that goes right across the page, and I'm just going to give a little bit of heading to that as well, just to separate it from that drop down, because the idea is that when somebody clicks new page of this type, it will create a new page of the type that is selected within this page types drop down. So if it says attractions, it will create an attraction. If it's let's say a buy sell item, it will create a buy sell item. So we can do that all from the admin console. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a couple of server actions to be able to do this. I'm going to create the create page type one first. So if I pop into our server actions, I'm going to create a new API action there, and we're going to call that new page. Nothing more complicated than that. We certainly don't want anybody but an administrator being able to do that at this stage, so we're going to pop that security provider straight in for administrators to be able to do, and we're going to make sure that they go to a login if they shouldn't be in there. Then I'm going to do a very straightforward database insert. So what we're going to do is we're going to go database actions, database insert, and we're going to insert into our page content page. See, these are all our standard fields. And I'm actually just going to create some fixed values in here. New page. I'm going to just literally take these out because we're not going to set any of them. We're going to make sure that online is 0 because we do not want this to be published at this stage. Date created, well, that's going to be now, so I'm going to literally select now, or we could select obviously a universal time constant. I'm just going to correct now, and the date edit will also be now because obviously a creation is a form of edit as well. Not now. And the rest of these we can leave blank. Our create ID is going to be our current user. I can't remember whether I actually added into our globals. No, I haven't. So let's just OK that for the minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add an action in here. I'm going to go into security provider, and I'm going to add a security identity. Just drag that in the right place, because obviously this is going to be setting the come on, not quite sure what's going on here. Let's try a save. That's better. So now if we go back to that action, we can say, right, well, the creator ID is the currently logged in person. In other words, that's security identity. And the last editor, well, say we set a create as an edit. So we're going to sort that. So the only one that we haven't actually catered for is this page type. So, okay. Save that. So now what we need to do is to send an operation to that create page action from this button, sending it the value of that select button there. So if I just pop back into our new page, I'm just going to create a get variable, and what I'm going to create is get page type. If we go back into our insert now, we actually see we're not going to use a post. I'm going to use a get. The reason is I'm going to call this from a flow. So there's our server action, and now if we go into our button, we can have our click action on the button. So that's our events, mouse click. Now if we pop down to that event, I'm going to go into flows, and I'm going to add an action, and that action will be a data source server connect. I'm going to collect that action, that new page action, and the page type it's going to send is going to be the value of that select as it is currently. Let's hit the save on that. Let's power that up. Let's have a look. Let's see now. Let's create a history page. So we click that. Just had to do a refresh because I forgot to do a refresh at the end of that action. You can see now we have a history page created. If we want a buy sell one, again we just hit new page. Need to tidy up because we need to do that, and there we are. We've got our buy sell page there. You notice two things there. One is that, of course, we aren't refreshing the page, but you also notice that this is always defaulting back to attractions. So you've got to reselect the page at the same time. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a little addition to this. First of all, I'm going to just add into that flow. We're going to, after that, add a step, flow control, run, and what I'm going to do is we're going to refresh that page data. And our page type is going to be the value of that select. Run that now. What we can see is that if we now say, right, okay, I want to, we shouldn't actually have member there. I need to code that out. If this was an entity for business, click, that server action refreshes, but because I haven't had to refresh the page now, that will stay in place. So that's exactly the action that we want. So to create a new page, we'll simply hit that button. It's going to create effectively a blank page, and then what we'll do is we'll go into our edit action, and we will edit that action or that page data accordingly. Then once we've got our page data in there, we can also think about adding our images to it as well. So next we need to look at this edit of our page to be able to edit that information that we'll be pulling out of our database. And you know how to do that. We've done that many times. I am going to go through it very quickly, but we're going to be doing the usual get a single record action. We're going to click event, we're going to get that single record, then we're going to use our Bootstrap form generator. We're going to generate a form, and then we're going to use that form as an update form. So we'll have a look at that in the next module, and I hope you'll join me straight after this.